And welcome into Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman for the 4A State Championship Girls Lacrosse, a region rematch. The second-seeded Mountain Crest Mustangs preparing to take on the top-seeded Bear River Bears. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Kenzie Christiansen with me on the call here today for you. Kenzie, Bear River, been a season of dominance once again for the Lady Bears. Mountain Crest 0-2 against Bear River this year. But coming in off a, I don't want to say surprising win. They were a higher seed, but a great win, being undermanned past Juan Diego into this state championship game, playing with confidence coming into this one.
Yeah, I love the confidence that they're coming onto the field with. As you said, they won by one goal, which is amazing, and they did not have any subs on that sideline. So it really just shows the strength and the unity of a team.
Yeah, it was Astrid Morin with the game winner in the final minute for Mountain Crest to propel them past Juan Diego. And, yeah, procedure there. You can kind of see the lean there. And so the opening draw going the way of the Bear River Bears. We'll get into players and matchups as the game proceeds. We'll start right here. How about an opening goal just seconds in? Bear River taking the early lead thanks to Gracie Page.
That was a great lane right from draw, taking it straight to goal. Straight away from the center to the center of the goal.
You know what? It was Mackenzie Mickelson. I got caught here in the semis. Remember, Mackenzie wearing 26, not 28. And I fell for it again. Dane 0 for 2 at the plate here today. One mistake I will not make when we talk about Bear River, and that is a player we'll talk about a lot today, the senior Jenna Lacrosse. Bam.
Got it.
Bam. We're good to go. I want to thank our Bear River friends for helping us with pronunciations on that one, and our apologies to Jenna and the Lacrosse family. Appreciate their patience with us as another procedure here going to give possession to Bear River. Starting goalie today for Mountain Crest, Emily Poppleton, the senior, showed up, missed graduation, came down, was a real anchor for Mountain Crest in that semifinal to help lift the Mustangs here to this championship game, as the possession here given to Mountain Crest after that check. Mountain Crest in the navy and orange. Bear River in the white unis as Mountain Crest bringing this ahead.
Looks like stick to body contact. She'll have to wait and do a self-start.
Mountain Crest back on it. That knocked away from behind. And Bear River coming away with it. Good pressure there. Savannah Pearson. Starting goalie today for Bear River will be the sophomore Sadie Pebley. There's some room here for the Bears as Shelby Wilkinson bringing it up. So much offense. We saw this team against Brighton in the regular season, Kenzie. Man, they are so strong on possession. That defense is good, and they don't waste a lot of offensive opportunities. This ball, indication that ball's trickling towards the circle. And you saw the pressure there by Mickelson. I think she's going to be called here for the violation there, but there's no give up.
Violation was made by Mountain Crest. It will be going to her. I think she's going up to the 12.
And we're going to put her at the 8 here. Yeah, straight away for McKenzie. And now officials are going to come together and talk here. I want to let you know the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we start it early, stop it late, that sort of a thing to keep it trued up with the official game clock here in the stadium. And they're actually going to take it back here behind goal.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was a crease violation, but maybe I had missed something. Crease violation, it will pull back to the dot, and it will be a whistle start.
Coming in, looking for her second and finding it. Boy, good start.
Yeah, way to creep past that defense as it was starting to collide into her. She was able to stay that goal circle side and release that shot just above left shoulder.
39th goal of the season for Mackenzie Mickelson, the junior. Had a pair, I believe, in the semi for Bear River. And this was, I think, what Bear River probably expected. Mountain Crest, 2 minutes in, giving up a couple goals, haven't had a lot of possession. a lot of teams have felt this way playing Bear River, and not just teams in 4A. There's a lot of teams that have felt this way playing Bear River.
Yeah, Bear River is a very strong team that's come a long way over the last couple of years. They were kind of a younger program that's been able to grow and prosper with the youth and up into their high school season where they won 4A state champs last year.
And more speed coming ahead here. Worked in front. They were trying to get that to J.C. Larkin. Good idea there from Sydney Cummins. Kept here by Shelby Wilkinson. 16-1 on the year are the Bears as coming around, score, and there is the first goal for Shelby. It's 3-0 Bears.
Shelby took that pressure. She started to kind of creep around the inside of the crease, making her way to the 8. She had her arms free that whole time with nobody crashing in, able to get that low right ankle shot.
Just to reiterate, one loss this year was to Corner King, and they lost that game 7-5.
Yeah.
Put up double-digit goals on Fremont, West Jordan, Bonneville. I mean, it's been more than just 4A teams. And look, overtime win at Brighton, 9-8. So I mean, there's they pack a punch.
Yeah, they certainly do. They definitely play their own type of game, and their game is very strong.
Score a lot of goals in the process as well. I think they're over 300 goals on the season.
Yeah, no, they have one of the most impressive goal takes, I think, of most teams.
Played up here with Cummins. The other thing is the roster is significant. Deep bench for Coach Webb. As this ball trickling through, captured here by Mackenzie Binnerman. Mountain Crest played with 2 subs? Or was
Mountain
it
no
subs?
0.
No subs, yeah.
Juan Diego had 2, yep.
As a card being shown here in the early moments. And so Bear River here going to go man down here as the card shown to Pearson. And Mountain Crest with 3 subs here today. I'm sure they'll gladly take it.
The Mustangs will be on the man advantage.
So advantage here for the Mustangs. And taken away. Looking up numbers here for Bear River. Shelby. Oh, good play. In the sphere there.
So we're going back to the second inside for the 8-meter opportunity. Shelby has gotten quite a few goals off of this type of opportunity, so hopefully we see something in her benefit.
I just stop it here.
I think it's alternate possession, and I think what happened is they were offsides. As we saw Jenna run back over. So the AP does go to Bear River, so she'll be starting back on the dot. Whistle start.
See, this is why Kenzie's here.
I do my best.
She's naming that as the PA's naming it, not delayed, in front of it. How about in front of the goal for the 3rd time in scoring? It's a hat trick for Mackenzie Mickelson.
Yeah, so early in the game, not even 5 minutes in, she's able to get another goal as she crease rolled around with hardly any defense around her and was able to get a good shot.
Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Hydrate with Milk's natural electrolytes. Local dairy farm families.
Wow, just a couple minutes in. What a start here from the Bears.
Rich dairy products to fuel your athletes. Learn more at unbottled.com.
Had that semi against Waterford, came out much the same way. And of course, your state champions last year out of Garland, Utah. Off the draw here, coming up together was Lacrosse. Wilkinson with room, has help in the middle. Feeding that right in front. Boy, and that may have gotten slowed up, but worked to the advantage of Cummins as she scores it.
Yeah, Cummins came into that defense and was able to keep that body pressure, but she's still able to keep her right arms up and free. She took a shot just over the goalie's right-hand shoulder.
Looks like Mountain Crest maybe wanting a timeout here. And indeed, they'll get it. Timeout Mountain Crest as Bear River. Boy, no delay in the Bear offense. 5-0 the start here for the top seed. Welcome back. 5-0 start for Bear River. 4A state championship. Had a fantastic 6A championship right before this. We'll talk about that because there is a story here today tied to that 6A championship. But we're going to wait because it's all about moments and tying it. But you'll want to stick around for that one as another draw win here for the Bears. And
offsides.
Wow.
I'm going to watch a little closer to see what keeps drawing them offsides. I don't know if they're playing like a midi D or what. I'll watch a little closer this next time around, but it will be a self-start.
Just a reminder, Bear River is still man down here.
Oh, with it being, I apologize. It is a whistle start because it was an offsides. Offsides is one of those scenarios that it will always be a whistle.
Playing this ahead with Lily Lopez. Lily had good semifinal. 4 goals for Lopez. Oh, there's a nice answer for Mountain Crest.
She broke through not just one double team, but 2 as she broke her way all the way through the plane of that GLE for their first goal.
Nice take there by the Mustangs. We've seen a couple Bear River games this year. They're not the easiest defense to navigate through, and
no,
fall down 5-0, and it's a nice little
pick me up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye out to see if what we're seeing for this offsides.
Aisha Porter on the goal there for the Mustangs.
Oh, I forgot we have a card. That's what's causing the offsides.
Off the procedure, Bear River starting, and here we go. Mickelson working in front. And now a stoppage and a card being shown here. What was this? Oh, dangerous follow there.
Dangerous follow through on Marley. Right as the other one gets released, unfortunately, they got another yellow card. That's all right. All you can do is learn from it and move forward. That was a yellow, so it will be a whistle start as Mountain Crest makes their way out of their defending end.
Talk about rhythm, momentum, flow. Sometimes these kinds of moments are the things that can help spark you. We'll see if Mountain Crest can, having just scored a goal, another card, if that can ignite. But Bear River winning the possession back immediately. That pass in between a couple of Bears as Sadie Adams trying to track that down, but Mountain Crest comes up with it. Here comes Sophie Keller. Lost it. Gathered by Lacrosse.
And we have some Mountain Crest fans underneath us. We can hear them roaring as every time possession's made.
Jenna looking right in front, and that shut down. Nice save there by Poppleton.
Now, it's always safe to have your lower defense slide out to your wings, so those like closer clears.
That Mountain Crest trying to stay with it here as that pass was unable to be cleanly handled. Now finally scooped up by Shelby Wilkinson for Bear River. Shelby here given to Southwick. That deflected. Good defense there. Just walking the tightrope there on that back line. Oh, and that escape just a touch tall for Lauren Smith as this will trickle out.
The Bears are already starting to work early as she makes her way into onto the field and into the 8 and 12.
Lacrosse working a GLE, and that one denied. Couldn't tell if Poppleton did get a piece or if that was maybe deflected on its route. Regardless, Mountain Crest able to get a stop, and now
out of bounds.
Yeah, ran out of room. Playing white lines here today at Zions Bank Stadium. As the penalty killed off here again by the Bears. I shouldn't say again. I guess Mountain Crest scored on the first one, but not on that one. Working through. Nice finish right in front as Bentley Lorimer with the moves and the goal.
Bentley had a great cut from the left-hand side, making her way to the middle of the 8, and was able to weave back through 2 defenders as she was able to get that shot off a sidearm about the middle of the cage.
(6-1). Mentioned these 2 games in the regular season. Both were handled swiftly and decidedly by Bear River. This one off to a similar start. That draw taken by Lorimer. Bentley thought she might be looking for 2 in a row. Instead goes to Marley.
Bear River has one of the highest, and if not the highest, assist rate in Utah. You know, to see that clean pass over to Marley as she was able to turn and just rip it to the cage, you know, not surprising at all with their talent and their numbers.
And it's one of the things about Bear River that makes them so tough. We talk about all the offense they have, but it's the unselfish play that you see.
Truly, truly is very true. That is something that, you know, they're very good about, having communication and seeing each other. They're not players to tuck their heads down and try and take it over and over again by themselves. They look up for their team, and they look out for their team as they, you know, take it into the attacking end.
73rd goal of the season for Marley. As off this draw, Keller bringing it ahead here with Mountain Crest. That pass behind. Taken here by Lopez. Richard there called here. And they're going to bring Lopez back.
Yep, I'm going to bring it back to the spot of the foul. I'm just still a little shocked by one of the Mountain Crest girls does not have her hair tied up. I don't know how she's playing.
That's smothered in the circle there by Pebley. She'll drop that, allow Pearson to bring it up. Looking to the middle. And captured here by Mackenzie Bitterman. Ground ball here, Bear River trying to retreat. Mountain Crest has it.
Within the 8, it should be taking her up to a center hash, in which it is. Defendant will be behind for an 8-meter opportunity.
This will be Porter, has the first goal of the game for Mountain Crest, looking for her second. Coming in and shooting space, or excuse me, in the sphere there.
Yep, she'll be sitting back up into the center hash. Let's see if she changes her tactic, if she's going to run it in or try and shoot it from the 8.
Coming in, looking, bounce shot and scoring. 2 good goals for Aisha Porter in this first half.
She takes a few swift steps in as she was able to get her arms up and free away from any sticks and make that bouncer shot hard and fast. You know, they may have a few-point lead, Bear River, but Mountain Crest is certainly having the energy to, you know, stay in this game and stay very active.
You know, I would imagine well, that's not true. I have played in some games, not in lacrosse, where it kind of gets lopsided early. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep that focus and to have that resolve and that fight, right? To
Very
keep
true.
coming. Of course, the state championship game, I would imagine that probably helps. Knowing you got plaques on the line and rings at hand. That one shut down by Poppleton. She's starting to settle in here, Kenzie.
She certainly is. She's getting comfortable in that cage.
Worked in front. Not much of a lane there for Larkin. She'll pull it back out here with the Bears. Tried to work around the perimeter there of Lauren Smith. What I call here.
Rapid hold is what's called. It was on ball, so she'll get that ball back to the second inside.
J.C. Larkin. Coming in, shooting. Poppleton again. That one maybe came off the foot, high and over. Bear River still with it. Oh, nice work. They have not had an answer today. How about the start from Mackenzie Mickelson, her fourth goal of the game.
That was a great take as she was able to come up from that hanging hash area, kind of do a fake roll back, juke back to her left side with tight intensity, and was able to roll off of that, lose the defender, and get that goal.
Mackenzie Mickelson, 41st goal. What a start for her, junior.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, she's still got another year on her, and look how great she's doing here in her junior year.
And she's been tough from the spot as well on these draws. That's the thing with Bear River. Like, sometimes when you get a program and you're building it, you get it to a point where it's like, all right, you start to feel it rolling a little bit. It feels like Bear River's starting to feel that. Bentley Lorimer. She'll peel back here and
Not sure what the foul was inside of the 8, but it looks like it's going to take her back to a hanging or to the second inside hash.
but you just feel like the momentum that they've built at Bear River, and
It proceeds
you
to
can
go
feel
forward.
it.
Yeah.
Like you just feel it in a game like this where it's, be it draws, be it goals, momentum, culture, all that stuff just comes together. And Lorimer coming in, shooting low and scoring. Bentley Lorimer now with the goal, her second this evening.
Yeah, she was coming off that second inside with a lot of tenacity as she was able to keep her arms nice and free of any defense and get that low ankle right shot. That was across the cage, so that's a great opportunity to be able to get that bigger spacing on that right side. Well, not just like the players, like for Bear River, the fans are louder than ever. We got them out here roaring after every goal and every pass and opportunity. You know, they cheer each other on throughout every inch of success.
Contact there. Oh, that ball was in the air off the draw. Awarded to Bear River. A lot of room in front again. Same result. Mackenzie Mickelson having herself a half.
Yeah, she certainly is having a great half as she was able to break down from all the way from the restraining line into the 8, making a great goal. Defense was trying to swarm around her, but wasn't quite there, and she was able to shoot it off before any defense was able to make contact.
5 goals for Mickelson. You know, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, that's amazing. I think that just shows how much she wants it. She wants to grow through every shot. Every shot's been different and from different angles. So, yeah, no, it just shows great things.
Well, and here's the tough thing. We talk about how strong she's been on the draw today. 780 winning percentage at the draw.
Wow, that's not too shabby.
And then you couple with her scoring today. I mean, she had 35 goals going into the semi. Scored a pair in the semi. She's got 5 more today. Like, It's becoming a force. Lorimer handing to Marley. Working around, hit it off the post. Try to play away there from the swing of Poppleton. Good idea.
I think there was some off-ball contact. It'll be going over to Marley. She'll be getting the second inside hash for an 8-meter opportunity. She does have a couple of players open on her right side. We'll see what she does.
She'll come in, shoot. Poppleton, I think that made its way to Poppleton. Denies it. We mentioned it. Emily was great in the semi, and I know people are going to look and say 10 goals, but this could very easily be 15, as now we're going to get a card being shown here as a check to the head there, and Bear River now going to go man up.
Yeah, Marley had a great check on that backside, so she kind of turned around with a little bit too much energy and unfortunately hit her in the head. So she'll be getting, Bear River will be getting a man-up situation for a few moments.
Nice little duck there by Lacrosse. Playing back here with Marley. Jenna. Marley tried that cut through. Well defended there by Sophie Jensen. Boy, not a lot of room. How about the maturity there by J.C. Larkin to recognize it, just take a step back and sling it high.
Yeah, she was trying to make her way through about 3 defense. She was like, all right, you know what, if they won't give me that space, I'll take that step back, as you said, and was able to control her shot for that left shoulder goal. I do notice that a little bit off frame, Mountain Crest is leaving 2 girls low by cage for any of those fast breaks, helping to help out with those slides. So once the ball makes its way down there, might be able to see a little more what I'm talking about.
With how quickly Bear River attacks, you wouldn't even know it. Boy, Larkin kind of rolled off after that little dodge and tried to get it back to her. Could not, and Mountain Crest here with it. Poppleton for the long outlet. Mustangs on the run. Porter with 2 today. Looking back to that middle. Plays over.
Stick to body contact. It was happening between the 8 and the 12, I believe. Just inside that 12, or just inside that 8, I'm sorry. So she'll be in that center hash. A little bit hard to see some of these lines out there. They are white with that sun hitting just on the turf.
Yeah, we got some glare going on as that shot wide from the 8. And Bear River closest to, they'll have it.
Oh, that's not where I thought she was passing to.
Yeah.
I was like, where are you going, Chica?
Well, how about that outlet into space? Allows Bear River to be in full stride here. Lacrosse playing to Larkin. JC. See 2 defenders there. Back to Lacrosse. Looking inside there for Marley, who had just come from behind goal.
And we're seeing a little bit of a different tactic here as they're trying to set up some type of play. Illegal check is the call. Not quite sure where she was on the lining, but she will be setting up on the hanging hash on the right side of goalie. Perspective, when we were talking about it, it is by goalie's perspective. So that is the right side.
Star here coming in, looking to score again. Is that one deflects back backed up. We haven't seen a lot of Bear River. This is our third game. It's the most aggressive I've seen Mackenzie Mickelson, though.
That's certainly so. Yes, Mackenzie's definitely taken a lot of energy into this game.
Marley back on it. Kierstead working through. That one denied by Poppleton.
Bear River does have a pretty fast ride once that ball has been released into the, defensive sticks, make it down to the attacking end. Bear River's not giving them much to do with to get down.
And we're going to have a card being shown here.
For a slash.
You could kind of see the windup on that one, trying to jar it loose. Mm-hmm. So Bear River going to go down here again.
So one of the emphasis this year for the game is, protecting this, I don't know the verbiage, I can't think of it. But what it is basically watch your stick. So watch, any crazy checks, like we just saw, anything in the sphere, stick-to-body contact, basically just watching the sticks overall. That's one of the emphasis, and so to see a call like that, I'm not too unfamiliar with it.
Shot there, saved away by Pebley. Well, and going back to that, I mean, I'm sure there's multiple reasons for it, but you're talking about a sport where you've got aluminum shafts and you've got no hand protection.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there's no padding on wrists, forearms, any of that.
Yeah, I have a finger that I can't even bend all the way because of so many times I've been checked being a defender. Those follow-throughs hit and make you have bloody knuckles. Almost every lacrosse player I think can relate to going to school with either bloody knuckles, bloody fingernails, and bruises on your arms. And people are asking, "You okay?" "Yep, I just play lacrosse."
Mountain Crest with it. Yeah, ran out. Kind of lost their place there on that back line. Pretty good wind here, left to right on your screen. Of course, we've got a magician running our camera. Had a wind event before the game, and Tino, a man of many talents, the Mountain Crest able to come away with it there. Shooting space. We'll peel this back, but want to thank Tino and people here for saving our camera and getting it functioning again.
Yeah, I definitely went for a little tumble.
Yeah, it was not a good couple moments.
Looks like we're going to be going to that hanging hash at 8-meter opportunity. She is looking like she's lining up for a left hand. Looks like she might be passing it up. Right idea, just wasn't able to execute it quite as well as she was hoping.
That kicked out. Smith here trying to box out, but called there for the block. Bear River here will start. Half Bears ahead. Shelby Wilkinson with numbers, has Larkin with her. Shelby working through, shot and a goal. Shelby Wilkinson scoring again.
Shelby was able to stay in her right hand, which is her dominant hand, as she started creeping down that left side, about first inside of the 8. Did a little bit of a tuck dodge to get past that defense as she was able to. Took a little bit of contact, but was able to get her arms back up and free for that cross goal down to the right ankle for her first goal. Second goal, my bad. Second goal.
Scored early. 12-2 start here for Bear River. The other thing is we've seen Bear River even throw some players out there, get them moments in a state championship game, let them go feel the energy, the moment. And awesome to see, again, talk about that bench. It does not look like a 4A team. Like when you see it lined up before, it's like that does not look 4A. The participation, and it does speak to what Coach Webb has built, is something to behold for Bear River, this Lady Bears program. Boy, rare miscue there for Mickelson. I think she was thinking about goal number 6. Bear River had it back. Marley able to possess it here.
Good, taking that pressure.
And a whistle here as she was coming in.
Is that shooting space? Is that lower official signal?
That's what I thought.
Sometimes angles are hard to see exactly. Yeah. I think that it looks like to be true. First inside is what she'll be getting. Marley doesn't happen to miss a lot of these, so we'll see what happens here and what kind of opportunity she'll make for herself.
Leading scorer for Bear River has one today.
Ooh.
And that was jarred loose by the defense of Mountain Crest. Lauren Smith tried to get that up with Porter, could not. There's Lorimer.
She's definitely taking her time as making her team come downfield and work as a unit. You know, look for those assists that they're so good at. Just kind of play the game and play the ball. Yeah, you got to stay a little bit more in tuned with making sure you're in the inside and outside hand right there. Shelby Wilkinson almost had an interception on her. So got to make sure you're keeping far enough away, switching out to that like outside hand, which in our case is just furthest away from goal.
Being slowed up here a little bit, fed to Lorimer. Running right through and scoring. Shelby Wilkinson with her third, and credit Lorimer with the assist.
We had a double cut going through. Defense was between the two girls. Shelby was able to keep by and sneak by that defender. She was able to catch with her right dominant hand and make the same shot that she's made a few times right down to that right ankle. I think she found her sweet spot in the goal.
Yeah. Of course, have a change now in net for Bear River, as I believe Hasley Reeder, the new goalie, one of the seniors on this team. Pebley, a sophomore, has had a lot of starts this year, has had significant time, and now a senior and Reeder coming in. Reeder's been strong this year in the minutes she's played. She's got quite a few. I don't mean to, characterize that as though she hasn't seen time. She has. But we talk about that rotation, that substitution in championship. We knew Bear River would do that. And now doing it between the pipes here in this first half. Back here with Lacrosse. Marley, one of those seniors. Getting back on this is Taylor defending. Marley slips past, little give and go. Marley in front, shot and a goal. Marley Kierstead scoring her second goal.
That was an excellent play. Marley was able to keep the pressure outside the 12, feel the pressure, roll back on her right side, do a little give and go like you said there. She gave that ball over for a pass, cut by as the defense looked and slid a little bit to the ball, and she was able to continue forward to make that goal.
74th goal for Marley Kierstead. And we'll take this moment here. We'll get you significant plays, but want to talk about this. Lone Peak, Mountain Ridge, 6A championship game. Mountain Ridge had a player draw a card inside of 2 to go. Tie game. Came over to the box. Lone Peak ends up winning that game. And as that horn sounded, Lone Peak runs the field. Marley ran out from the tunnel and hugged that Mountain Ridge player just to console her, to just cry with her. And as that moment passed, for about a minute or so, as Marley came off, you could see tears on her cheeks. Just thought it was an awesome moment. Sometimes, what happens off the field doesn't get recognized or called out, and made a note in my head, number 8, and I just wanted to give Marley credit on that. That was
I think it all put a tear in our eyes, and it shows the sportsmanship throughout all the teams. Bear River, Mountain Crest weren't able to play each other, but they obviously had some type of connection outside of just the high school play. And, to see a friend come to console you and say, hey, I was here for you, is just next level sportsmanship.
Coming around, shooting and scoring. Third goal today for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, Aisha Porter.
Yeah, she was able to take that in from the 8-meter. As she creeped over, she started going more to the goalie's right-hand side, took some pressure, rolled back to her other side, and was able to get a goal for her third.
The clock a little delayed. Try to fix it there quickly. We missed it. About 15 seconds left here in the half. It's 14-3, the score for Bear River.
9.
And the final seconds taken away here in the half in the 4A state championship. Bear River, I don't think we'll get a draw away here. Taking the lead into the break. A strong start for the defending state champs as they look for back-to-back. You're watching the 4A state championships on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. Start of the second half. Dane Stewart, Kenzie Christiansen with you. 14-3, Bear River at the break. I think, Kenzie, we probably thought this would be likely. Do like what we've seen from Aisha Porter. I think the seniors tried to keep Mountain Crest in this, but just been overwhelmed by the Lady Bears.
Yeah, we were unfortunately not able to see her in the semifinal. She was off at graduation, but it was good to see her, here and showing up for her team today.
We've got a number of player adjustments for Bear River. We'll try to name those as best we can. Boy, how about end-to-end shooting and scoring? Bethany Richard taking matters into her own hands.
Yeah, that was a great goal. She was able to get through all that defense. We even got one defender on the ground by her footwork. Able to get a goal fast and smoothly. The sun's slowly getting brutal on us.
Yeah, we've had cloud cover. It's been nice, but it's no longer being very nice.
I was up on the University of Utah campus earlier today and got drenched. Came here nice and sunny. I was like, perfect. And here it came again. All the rain and wind and coldness.
That's why we
put on those.
Brought our old ball cap.
Should have done it.
Draw here, thrown back by Mickelson. Mountain Crest.
Empty.
Yeah. There's Lorimer. She's been aggressive today, too, for Bear River.
No, she certainly has. That's been the name we've said a few times now.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of drives and a lot of the transition when they do work the ball down to attack.
Oh, Lacrosse, good eyes working in front. Poppleton with a save there on Mickelson. Mickelson had 5 goals in that first half.
Looked like a crease violation. It will be the goalie's ball. Defendant is going to go behind.
And Marley coming away with it. Bear River just makes everything so tough. Lacroix, one of the seniors on this group, has not scored here today yet. Is that shot high and backed up? See Mount Crest defense collapse down, take away some of that room for cuts as Lacroix fires that wide. She knew she missed it.
She has a lot of power, in her shots. These last couple of shots have hit from behind the back of the fence, hit that big brick wall, and has made their way back to field.
In play here with Mickelson. Being defended there by Taylor. Here's Larkin. Couldn't receive that cleanly as Mountain Crest has it. Keller. 3 Bears around her, still trying to hang on to this, but it is Larkin coming away with it. JC, the shot, and that ringed off the pipe. Boy, Poppleton thought she had missed it.
Well, I think it bounced off both pipes. I think it hit the left pipe and then the top pipe, but until we see a roll back, I'm not quite sure. Either way, they still have the ball on attack.
Yeah, Bear River still with it here. Want to remind you, we've got one more championship game coming up, the 5A final. Olympus Park City. Wilkinson trying to feed Marley right in front, broken up there by Mountain Crest. How about Northern representation in 4A? Girls side, you got Mountain Crest and Bear River. Boys side, Green Canyon and Skyview. A block there. Mountain Crest will take it back up here and start it.
Nice interception.
Just make everything hard. I mean, even that start, right? You got 2 sticks there. You got to lob it. Lorimer able to come and intercept. Larkin left open. And that one scored. I couldn't tell if that hit off the post or not, but I think it hit the middle behind and came out.
Yeah, Jenna was able to get that feed as she drawed 2 defenders on her, leaving the shooter wide open in the center of the 8, receiving that catch, and then just a soaring goal to the back of the net. And I think you're right. I think it bounced off that bottom plate.
Stay off the field. We will have opportunities for photos at other locations.
Olympus walking in the stadium.
Thank you.
I passed by a few of the girls as we came in. They're like, why are we so delayed? They didn't see the lightning storm we had a few moments ago.
Well, do you remember the last couple of days?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Because of that. That's their why.
I was talking with Coach Merrill of Olympus, and he had said he's never seen storms be consistent over the course of a whole week. I thought that was an interesting note.
Yes.
And a true one.
It's like the Florida, like in August, they always have like a storm about 2 o'clock. Now I know that because I was at Disney World around that time. Mountain Crest got the ball down on their attacking end. Bear River is not letting her in. Stick to body contact. Should be taking the second inside for the 8-meter opportunity. Winds up.
Coming in. Nice save. And made by Reeder. Bear River. Room here for Larkin. That was deflected on the pass. It was Keller coming away with it. Crest trying to push it here. Porter looking in front. That pass couldn't be handled.
Yep, that was a pass, so it will be taken over by the Bears.
Here comes Bear River. Right in front. Lorimer just shot it wide. Oh, nice feed in front. Lorimer trying to spin around and scoring.
That's a great assist down behind GLE, taking it all the way to the second inside on the left side of the goalie. Catching that, turning around, getting that little bit of a roll dodge, and being able to get her hands up and free from all sticks on the defending end and making that goal.
Utah High School Activities Association has joined with the Utah Jazz and other sports organizations in the state of Utah to lead together in a long-term commitment to cultivating a community culture of inclusion and belonging. Join the UHSAA
game, and
Lead Together
Bear River.
LeadTogetherUtah.org.
What they do, right?
Wilkinson and Nicholson on the draw.
I think Bear River can only do what they know how to do, play their best game as they possibly can. Keep it as a team, keep it as a unit, and, you know, have a successful game. Mountain Crest can only do their best and defend, you know, some of these top shooters throughout everything that they can. They got 2 defense already hanging back, waiting for that. They're playing 5 defense back.
Working up. Marley peeling back. Wide, and Mountain Crest closest to. Nice steam here for Porter. Through the middle. Crest trying to stay with it. Played over. Smith. Trying to fit one in for Lopez there, and we'll get a card here. Not a lot of room to make that pass, and Lopez trying to kind of slide in right in front of the circle there. Is the second card here, I think, being shown to Pearson.
Savannah Pearson, check to the head. That is Bear River's fourth yellow card of the game. They will be down a man for the remainder of the afternoon.
It's the fourth card of the game for Bear River as well. Pearson, one of the seniors for Bear River, coming off. She's
gonna make me cry.
Yeah, emotional and understandably so. Never easy when seasons come to an end.
Yeah.
But you'll come to an end early and via card, that sort of a thing. Hard.
It is definitely hard. It's already a lot of emotions out on that field. And, you know, when you're a senior, you get your second yellow like that, you feel defeated. You feel like you put yourself down and your teammates down. But know that they're just out there. They're going to continue fighting for you, and that they're going to work through, like, as a team and help win this game as a team.
Mountain Crest's getting the start, shooting and scoring. There's Lily Lopez for her first tonight.
That was a great take on that 8-meter opportunity. She was able to get that 5-hole right down center. No touches on her stick from the defensive end. Great goal. Get them for their fourth goal of the game.
Well, and just the other thing I would add there is we've got another stoppage here after. We've got a timeout. We'll keep that thought. We'll be back. You're watching the 4A State Championship on KSLSports.com. Welcome back, 17-4.
Bear River has some huge fans below us.
Yeah,
They're out here already cheering on Jenna. She's running out to the field. You definitely know where the families are at in this stadium. I have a little bit of some Mountain Crest over to my right-hand side, but majority here in front of us, you don't see them because they're right in front of the box, are just roaring for those Bears.
Off the draw, Lorimer coming up. We talk about some of the emotions for Bear River, but there's going to be a lot of additional emotion here in about 13, 14 minutes is a decided championship game, and all that hard work and time you put in the off season, during the course of the season, game in, game out, and talk about a team out of 4A that again came down, played upper classification teams, all the bus rides and travel and all that. And that's why those moments are so hard, right? When you get multiple cards in a game or those types of things. But for Bear River, still well in sight of the intended goal.
You know, Bear River and, Mountain Ridge have something in common, but at the end of the day, they're going to still walk off as a family, supporting one another, no matter if you're a freshman to a senior. Everyone's always going to be there for you for the rest of your life. And, come later in life, you might be 20-plus years old at a wedding, and here comes all your teammates from high school.
And that's the crazy thing, right, is some teams just never die. Is Lily Lopez able to throw one right between the legs? Beautiful shot for Lopez.
Yeah, that was a great shot. She was able to get an assist, center lane, catch that ball and do a bouncer shot just at the feet. A great pep to everybody's step from Mountain Crest. And let's hopefully see a couple more for them here in this half as we're trickling down from 13 minutes.
Lilia Lopez, talk about her game in the semi, had 4 goals, 2 goals here, both in the second half tonight. And she's just a junior. Got one more year here for Coach Rindlisbacher, Mountain Crest. We talked a little bit about the Mustangs, 17-3 on, well, 18-3 now on the season. It would fall to 18-4 after this game, and 3 of those losses would be to Bear River. I'm sure, we talk about emotions of sports, and it's all of them. Sorry, it's 14-3 on the season. Can't read my own handwriting. Talk about emotions of sports, and it doesn't matter, boys, girls, it's there in all of it, again, with the time and all the investment. But you talk about still a great year. The only other loss they had was to Juan Diego, which they avenged in the semi. So even though tonight, probably doesn't end the way that they would have loved, great year still for Mountain Crest.
Shelby had a wide open cut to the middle of the 8. But it looks like Bear River has a little bit of a different plan taking this course on the attacking end.
As we approach the final 10 minutes here.
You can't see it off screen, but I keep laughing at the Bear River coaches. Every one of them is so intent, arms crossed, watching that game, cheering on their girls, and I just love it. I think the unison is perfect.
It's interesting. We were at a clinic before the year started, had a chance to hear about Coach Webb and his culture and what he's built, and it's very much an investment in the team.
Certainly, yeah. Well, he had a daughter that played a year or so ago. She's now playing in college, I believe, as a goalie, and then he has a daughter that is also in the youth program for the Bears.
Marley here. Coming up, and card going to be shown here.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. It does look like she's okay if she puts those goggles back on her face. Someone was mentioning in our previous game is that I see more goggles fly off girls' faces in the last couple years than I ever have. And I was talking to a coach friend of mine, and he was able to let me know, like, the girls sometimes do that on purpose to try and pull fouls, but in this case for Marley, that was no purposeful foul. She unfortunately did get a good hit to the head.
Lacrosse there, drawing the shooting space.
I think this is about her 3rd attempt at an 8-meter opportunity. Hopefully she's able to find one to the back of the net for her.
Mentioned the senior day, hasn't scored, has had a couple good looks. You want a goal in a state championship in your senior year, and Jenna gets it.
Yeah, that was a great take on the second inside. She had no defense around her. She ran down that center lane. And as she walked down that lane, she was able to get a goal on the left-hand side of our Mountain Crest goalie.
It's got to be a great moment, doesn't it? Senior in a state championship and be able to get a goal.
Of course. Yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want to be able to exceed at the thing that you're best at. And she's one of the best, score takers on the team.
Some of us have not lived that dream, so we can only imagine.
Oh, yeah, no, it was defense. I never got to the attack side. And when I did, it wasn't pretty.
I never played in a championship my senior year, so I didn't even get that far. So
I was able to do that.
Yeah.
I was able to do that. We didn't win, but we did it.
Yeah, I'm 0 for in my championships as well. So
that's A-okay.
Off the draw.
Very clean pickup by Wilkinson.
Here's Cummins. Plays over. Look at the movement. Marley.
That was a great tic-tac-toe from Cummins to Jenna. Over to Marley. Making a beautiful little zigzag as Marley was able to get that goal in the back of the net. You can tell that whole team is celebrating that. That's something they've been practicing once before, maybe twice before. And It's really been executed. That started all the way back at the draw. Shelby was able to capture it off of the circle.
I don't know if they know this. That's the 75th goal on the year for Marley.
Wow, that's amazing. And Marley's also been out with like a couple of injuries. I know you could see her knees wrapped. That's a reoccurring injury, unfortunately, for her. She also had a boot on earlier in the season. So she has missed 1 or 2 games. I know she wasn't in the Corner Canyon game where they only lost by a few points. And I'm assuming she missed a couple others. But just to know that she's missed at least, from my knowledge, 1, that's really impressive.
One of the other things we'll talk about seniors. And after that Marley goal, and you celebrate offense, and deservedly so, but there's always the other end of those stories. And Poppleton, a couple of players came and gave her a hug and just started talking to her, keeping her, I'm guessing, words of affirmation, of keeping it positive with their senior goalie. And look, I know people are going to look at the scoreboard, but she's made 6, 7, 8 really good saves in this game as well.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, no, she's had some great steps in getting her body behind the ball and saving it. Her stick has been able to swing through and save a couple of goals that way. The pipe's her best friend. For me in my book, that counts, right?
Well, I heard this shared once from a goalie in another sport where it's like, hey, if it rings the pipe, it's because I had it covered. and I kind of love that confidence as a goalie, right? It's a nice move there from Mountain Crest. Goal being scored here by Maddie Henry.
That was a great lane for Maddie. She was able to take that down the first inside on the goalie's left-hand side. Was able to keep it right over that left-hand shoulder of the goalie. She was able to take that with a lot of speed. You saw it, the ball hit the net, and it had that whip to it.
Anyway, I just thought that was a cool mindset for a goalie, right?
No, I really like that.
If it hits the pipe, it's because I had it covered.
No, I really like it. Well, that's something I say when, people are like, oh, she shot at the goalie's stick. Yeah, but how many times do you get a ball passed straight to your stick and you not catch it?
Yeah.
It's like, she still has to catch it. Yes, her net may be bigger, but she still has to catch it. Regardless, it's a save for her. Pat on the back. Great, another takeaway from Shelby.
Here comes Mickelson, really set the tone early, had those 5 goals in the first half, and I think 4 of their first 6.
Yeah, that sounds correct. Bear River's been able to get that first step on the Mustangs nearly this whole game. Shelby's starting here with the circle, getting that first step, getting that circle 1 to get the ball down to attack. Every step Bear River is taking is an advantage to their play.
Here's Marley.
And just a reminder, we are playing man down for Bear River as they have gotten 4 cards. So if you're out there counting, that'd be why. They must play with 4 back.
Coming back here with Lacrosse. Dangerous pass there. Lauren Smith has left it all out there tonight for Mountain Crest. Trying to help win that is Emily Solano battling here as well. On the ball, and it's Lorimer.
I love the never-ending cheering and support that the Bears get throughout everything. They're a handful of goals up, and the crowd is still roaring for those girls. They will cheer for their girls through thick and thin, and personally, I have never heard any of them say anything bad or negative to their team or to the other teams. They've just are very humbled and here for their players type of fans.
You mentioned Bear River was going to play their bench today, get players time in this championship. Alyssa Brielle, the freshman, had just come off. Meanwhile, number 10 has come on. We don't have a 10 on our roster. I'm not certain who that is, but wanted to give credit there, getting time on the field here in this final.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Another player on here for Bear River. 42, Maria Fernanda Betancourt.
Yeah.
Charlize Southwick on the field as well. Trying to get some of the players that maybe haven't had their names called out much for the Bears this year.
Yeah, because they're certainly on the field and doing just as much work as about everybody else. Just because their name's not getting said doesn't mean they're not out there putting in just as much effort. There's just one ball on that field, and sometimes you may be the one playing defense that's not touching it, or any other spot.
Final 3 minutes.
It will be, the Bears will be playing down by 2 players now.
Haven't started the clock yet here. Is that one ringed off? There we go.
All right, that foul will be taking her out to the 12.
She'll hand this off. Lauren Smith giving it back. Looking in front, Lily Lopez scoring again. I really like what we've seen from Lopez is when we talk about marks. I think that's the 70th goal of the year for Lily Lopez.
That's amazing. Well, she was able to get that, open spot right in the middle of the 8. She was able to not just catch the ball, but turn around and release it. It did bounce off, I think, a little bit off the goalie's helmet, but nevertheless, it made that goal for her.
Coaches, officials, and community members. Share yours at nfhs.org/myreasonwhy.
I've got 19-7, but our scoreboard's still saying 6. I'm not positive if maybe I missed one, or double counted one. We're going to keep it true to the scoreboard here. I've got 3 for Porter. Oh, there we go. All right. Robin here for Mountain Crest. A lot of seniors on here for Bear River in their final minutes.
Great save. I think that tipped off a little bit of the goalie's shaft as she was, or head as she was able to get that shot out of bounds.
Fed in front. And you see Wilkinson just run that around here. Pass a touch behind Lorimer. Not be able to run, track that down. Final 45 here in the 4A state championship. Bear River going to go back to back. What an impressive couple of years for the Lady Bears. Shot wide and backed up. Worked in front, and Poppleton, I think, had that as we get a late card given here.
I think that is Marley's first card. I think she still came off with a smile on her face. Her head's not hanging low because she knows her team's going to hold it true and strong for the next 16 seconds.
I played soccer. I always said growing up, my last game, I was going to get a card, and I was going to get it from the official. But it was a championship game. So I was like, I can't do that in a championship game, right? And so I didn't.
You're right.
And Marley she did what I wanted to do.
She did what I did do.
I couldn't hurt my team like that. It was a competitive game. Final seconds on. Bear River, 19-7. Your back-to-back state champion Lady Bears finish it off in 2023. Kenzie, final thoughts on the player of the game?
Overall, that's just an amazing game. They've had a great season. They've been able to be 4A state champs for 2 years in a row. And that just speaks a lot to the coaching staff and the players and how much energy and effort they put on and off the field to be able to come for a second time and get a second state championship in a row. I wish them all the best of luck with all these seniors and their future endeavors. I think the player of the game for me, I kind of have two, honestly. I'm kind of getting tied up a little bit. I really liked Marley's playing today. I think she had a lot of great ground balls. I think she was able to have a lot of great shots and opportunities and was unselfish. But then, for the overall of the, stats and just the playing of the game and just the breeze of the game, Mackenzie had a phenomenal overall game, and I think every single player on this field should be proud of being here. That's an honor of itself and a privilege of itself to even showing up to be in a state championship game.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Look, nothing to hang your heads about if you're Mountain Crest. A great year. I know it's always hard, things to end. We've both been there, right? But great run, getting to a championship game, a number 2 seed, but just not enough today as Bear River overwhelming the Mustangs 19-7. Congratulations to both teams on state championship appearances. Marley Kierstead and Mackenzie Mickelson lifting Bear River to back-to-back. For Tino Psyche, Kenzie Christiansen, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. A reminder, we've got the 5A championship coming up here in about 30 minutes.